verbal
Sure.
for the chimney.
So, is it recording now?
Mm-hmm.
Chimney is too short. The chimney should extend about 3 feet above the roof. This is to meet city code. It is currently about 1.5 feet off the roof. One could extend it, but you would need the proper listed chimney part. The only way you could get one of these proper listed chimney parts is through the manufacturer of Dyna. Dyna has long since been out of business, so retrieving these parts are near impossible. If one cannot get the parts and it is going to meet city code, one would then have to replace both the entire chimney and fireplace system with an approved system, and the chimney would extend to a height of 3 feet.
So that sounds like a big problem. Given that the chimney was built whenever the house was built, as codes change, what is a homeowner to do? Change.
As far as that, codes have changed very little. The 3 feet above the roof has always been code. Now, I understand that this is past inspection in the past, but it doesn't make it right. It's always been 3 feet above the roof. Either the inspector missed it, didn't know, didn't care. I don't really know, but I do know that it should extend 3 feet above the roof, and where it's at right now is 1.5 feet.
So, okay. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions as they come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they build a chimney that's too short if the code was always that?
Most of the time in this situation, they don't like the way it looks. From the street, you can't really see it.
Mm-hmm.
You extend it up higher, now you can see it. That's a bit of an eyesore. So this is fairly common. They build it too short so you can't see it.
Okay, and then what is the danger of having a too short chimney?
The too short chimney, they're afraid that the products of combustion are too close in proximity to the combustible roof,
Mm-hmm.
where the chances of a fire occurring 1 in a million, 1 in 1,000, no one really knows. What we do know is that fires have occurred in the past, hence they have the code of 3 feet.
Okay, and this is a code for the city of Redondo Beach, the city of Los Angeles, the county. Okay. And this...
And the manufacturer
Mm-hmm.
of this chimney also says 3 feet above the roof.
So then who does this? The builder of the home does this?
The installer, the contractor who built the house, it's his responsibility to make sure it's meeting code.
Okay.
It's not the inspector. It's not even really the person who installed it. Although it more or less is, it's the contractor, whoever sees the job, is there to ensure that it's meeting code.
And then what is the worst that could happen with the situation? Obviously, they've been using the fireplace, right?
Right.
So, like in a real life, everyday, practical sense, is this something that a person should be able to live with, could live with?
Like I said,
I mean, I know you can't
are
really...
slim.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize that. They're very slim. But, it's one of these things where it's occurred in the past.
Right.
And
that's why they have a code.
That's why they have the code. If
Okay.
you're driving around in a car that has faulty brakes, but they're still working,
Mm-hmm.
great, you have not gotten in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
But let's fix the brakes before something bad
Mm-hmm.
happens.
And in order to fix this, you're saying that this particular brand or manufacturer, they don't exist, or they don't
They went out
make
of
the...
business a long time ago.
I hear that actually with a lot of different chimneys,
Yeah, they...
or a lot of different
Chemical,
manufacturers.
They get bought up by other companies, but they don't continue making the same parts.
Mm-hmm. So in order to fix that problem, one would have to change the entire chimney. You can't just take the chimney off, extend it somehow, and then...
There are companies
Fix
out
that?
there that will take a metal chimney, take all the dimensions, and will make their own chimney.
Mm-hmm.
Only problem with that is it's never been tested. It's not a UL listed part. Even though it's the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
that particular part has not been tested. So it would not meet code, but it...
Even if they do fix it in their way, it still would not meet code because it doesn't...
It has to be a UL listed part.
Oh, okay. So even if we were to employ one of these companies to fix the problem, it would not really fix the problem because it wouldn't
It would.
qualify on their
It would not
this
meet
list.
the city code. But it would be, in my opinion, an improvement of where it is now.
For the practical safety reason. Okay. Okay. So this is really a conundrum of chimneys.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a bummer. I see this quite often. They're building them too short. It has to be 3 feet. And with these older chimneys, these older manufacturers that have been out of business, can't get the parts.
Right.
One other minor, not a minor point, but one thing I noted, this particular chimney requires a 2-inch airspace of anything combustible, not airspace, but nothing combustible within 2 inches of it. There is a mastic sealant sealing the roof jack to the chimney. Not supposed to use a mastic sealant, so one would remove that sealant.
Okay. So that's like a handyman job
That
to
could-
change the material of the
that could
sealant?
be.
Okay. And is that in good condition right now, or is that
As
wearing?
far as, is it waterproof?
Yes.
Based on what I can see, it looks fine. I'm not here to test for leaks, flashing, so I'm not truly part of my inspection. But if I note something like this is not right, I'll refer you to a roofer. But when I
Right.
see something combustible on the chimney, then I bring
You
it
just
up.
have to point it out. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so then what about the condition of the flue? Is everything else fine?
Based on what I can see with my camera, nothing really to talk about.
Okay. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.